If you're a new gardener and you have a bunch of potted plants, here's how you're going to recycle and refresh that soil at the end of the season. And if you don't want to lose this information, make sure you save this video. Now let's break it down. In your containers, you're either going to have annuals or perennials, because whether the plant comes back every single year or has to be replanted every single year will depend on how you treat the soil. So we'll go over annuals first. So that's any of your vegetables like tomatoes, melon, carrots, radishes, corn. First, you don't have to throw away the soil unless the plant was really diseased. But if the plant has no problem and was completely healthy, all it needs is a little bit of refreshing. So the first thing you're going to do is come down and cut it right at the base. Next thing I suggest doing is laying on a really big tarp and dumping it. Container mixes can settle over time, so it needs to be fluffed back up. And of course we want life in the soil, so the next thing you're going to add to it is either compost or worm castings, or both. And the biggest thing about potted plants is the structure of the soil. Because it's not actively in the ground, it's not getting anything extra back to it, so it's up to you to add it back. So when you're dumping all these plants on the ground, if the soil is really dense and really hard, you're going to want to add some perlite to it or some fresh potting mix, and that's going to help with your drainage and your airspace in the soil. And before you throw it back in the pot, it's always good to add a slow release granular fertilizer, which is going to help recharge and replenish all the nutrients that the previous season stole. Now let's talk about perennial potted plants. This would be anything like your rosemary, your sage, wormwood, aloe, any kind of citronella grasses, lemongrass, any kind of mint, herb, oregano. The biggest difference with those is you're not continuously every single year dumping them out. But soil health is still important, so here's how you're going to maintain that for healthy plants. In the springtime, when they usually start waking up for the year, if there's any old, dry, depleted soil on the top, like, I'll show you right here. So you see how this has no structure in it, it's just kind of there. You're just going to scrape away the top few inches, take this away and compost it. But now we're getting to where it actually has a little bit of structure, a little bit of form. You're going to scrape it away like that in the spring and pull it away till you get that nice soil. And you're going to replace that with either fresh potting mix or compost or both. And within that top dressing, you can go ahead and add in some slow release granular fertilizer as well. Now, every couple of years, your plant is going to just kind of go down. And when it stops looking as vibrant as what it needs to be, that's when you know that you need to repot it. One sign of this is if the water goes straight through the root ball and nothing ever gets absorbed. A second sign is if the pot dries out really, really fast. That's when you know it's ready for a repot. And the repotting process would be the same as your annuals. Dump out the soil, loosen up the root ball, cut any dead ends of the roots off. You may need to upsize the pot. If the soil is really dense, add perlite. Of course, add you some slow release granular fertilizer, and you're done. And you won't have to repot that perennial again for another 3 to 4 seasons. So if you're a new gardener and you have a lot of potted plants, now you know exactly how to not only recycle that soil, but replenish that soil to keep your plants healthy and thriving. And if you want to learn more about gardening and this is your kind of content, make sure you're following my page. I'm here to help you grow a happy, thriving garden by teaching you of what you need to do and when you need to do it in order for that garden to thrive. So if you want to learn more, again, make sure you're following my page, and I'll see you in the next video.